I'm George.
And I'm Alex.
We've been making puppet videos on my YouTube channel for years now.
But we have a problem.
We never had much of a plan for our characters.
And to a newcomer, it can get confusing very fast.
So in this podcast, we're going to make sense of the story we were just stringing along.
Welcome to this especially formal edition of Stringing It Along. If you're on audio, I'm wearing a blazer. Of course, I've only got a polo shirt underneath, but well,
Yeah.
we're hopefully going to film something else today.
Yeah, that's what
And that's why I'm wearing this. I mean, I could take it off, but I don't want to.
No, it looks nice. Anyway,
What are we covering today?
we are covering Tiffany's Adventure Part 4. This is episode 10 of the podcast in total. And this one is called Tiffany in Disguise, so it gives you a bit of an insight into what this one's going to be about.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to give some of the
Some of the deets. Well, this was published on March 14th, 2019. That's almost St. Patrick's Day.
It is. Is it not St. Patrick's Day?
Don't say that. Oh my god.
What?
How could you be so ignorant living in Ireland all of your life?
I don't know. Is it 15? It's 15.
No!
What
You're
is
making
it?
it worse!
I know it's in March, obviously, but what?
I can't believe I have to tell you. It's the 17th of March.
Okay. Whatever.
Okay. This video has 35 views, and it's the first video in our journey that isn't marked as made for kids.
Wow.
I don't know why.
And is this... Wait, at the start of this video as well, we also, is the first time we used, like, an intro. We'll get to that later, but I just remember that suddenly.
It's significant.
Yeah.
And it has one like, not from me. Maybe it's from you. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it was.
Maybe we have a secret admirer.
Oh my gosh, imagine. It was probably one of our friends, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, the description. Sorry, it has been a while since the last part, so yeah.
How long has it been?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know there was a similar apology in the last one, and I was thinking of comparing the distance between the
January 31st.
two. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think the distance between episode 2 and episode 3 was longer. It was something like November was when part 2 came out. Yeah.
Goodness me.
So, I mean, it's not been so long, but still we apologized for the distance.
Yeah. My goodness.
I've copied the thumbnail into the Google Doc. We've actually, instead of just having a photo, we've put a little arrow onto it.
Yeah.
To show how Tiffany has changed into this dinosaur.
Exactly.
You can put that up on the screen,
I
can't
will,
you?
yes. And it's got a nice tree in the background.
It's not such a nice tree.
It's a plastic toy tree. That doesn't make any sense, but it's the entrance to the Jurassic City.
Where did you get that tree?
It was part of some big toy set or something. I can't remember. I don't have any more, but
Not from any specific kind of TV show?
no.
As you remember.
I think I was like, 5 when I got it or something. 8 when I got rid of it or something. I don't know. Well, no, not 8 when I got rid of it, obviously, but whenever.
Seeing as this video was already marked as not made for kids, I decided I could turn the comments on again, and I found nothing. There was nothing, there were no comments there that were like, "Oh, happy 2019, you guys." That wouldn't have made sense. Why would you be saying that in March?
Oh god, that would have been made more sense than the third episode, but whatever.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. But now it's time for your summary, George.
Exactly.
What have you got?
So, the whole quick little summary of what we got in store here. Tiffany decides to take matters into her own hands and goes to Doggo's shop in a nearby town. She buys a dinosaur costume and uses it as a disguise to get into Jurassic City. She sneaks past the guards sleeping and enters.
Reading it like that, it sounds like not much happens.
Pretty much. Not much does happen apart from she goes to a shop, gets a disguise, and then walks in. It did feel quite short though.
Yeah.
But,
There's a few moments in between that are quite nice. And we're going to break them down now.
Okay. Let's go.
We're not going to have a breakdown, are we?
0 seconds in. Gag, clipper board's not very funny. I look terrible. These two are better one next time. So
These are my notes.
Yeah.
There's a gag with the clapperboard where I snap my hands in between the two boards. Have we still got it here?
I can go find it.
Or else you can just play a clip.
I could actually. I'm not gonna go find it.
Yeah.
It was up there last time, but I don't know where it's gone.
Yeah. Now it's a potion movie. Be quiet, Bodgers.
I don't think it's funny. I'm not very good at being aggressive. Be quiet, fudgers.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should have done it, but I don't think it would have made much sense. Anyway, 10 seconds in.
Yeah, well, actually, just one more note
Yeah.
from the clapboard. It leads to a better gag the next time.
Yeah, the next gag. I won't spoil it. You have to watch the next episode when it comes out.
Yeah.
Tiffany's Adventure.
10 seconds in, this intro reveals that this was the first puppet video ever to be edited.
It was. Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, well...
The other ones were edited, were they?
No,
Were
they were all
not?
just
Oh, wow.
paused, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess we just got better at it.
Yeah, yeah.
But now this has this thing, we have an actual intro with like text saying Tiffany's Adventure at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
The jingle that you sing, it once again proves, I think, our lack of musicality, because the way you sing it, it really, you've sort of flattened out the last note. It's instead of going Tiffany's Adventure.
Yeah, Tiffany's Adventure.
Yeah, you go Tiffany's Adventure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not quite as bad as that. You were
Yeah.
nearly there, but
Yeah, exactly.
we abandoned that after this episode.
Yeah. One-time intro.
We used an font from Indiana Jones. That's the
We
font they
did,
used,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was just on the app we used.
Yeah, My Movie, which is the like mobile editing app that we used.
Never speak its name.
It's not
The app that
it's not
must not be
Voldemort.
named.
But yeah, that's the app we used for a good while of our videos. That was a car that went past. Sorry about that. But yeah.
I think I'm going to take matters into my own hands again, because that's what I did in the first place.
But just how am I going to get into that city? I think I might go to Doggle's shop for some inspiration.
Oh, old Doggo's asleep. Now then.
Doggle! What the heck? Ah!
The video continues. Tiffany decides to take matters into my own hands like I did at the start.
Yeah.
And she goes to Doggo's shop for some inspiration, where we meet Doggo for the first time. We teased this moment before on the podcast. We were talking about Doggo. And
Yes.
that we'd meet him.
One of my notes relates to this. If you just want to go to one of the things, just the first one.
Yeah.
Tiffany must have known Doggo at this time, or at least his shop. Maybe Doggo's shop is somewhat famous.
I reckon so. It's sort
Yeah.
of a culty spot. It seems like an bit with a bit of an odd shop, you know, like a pound land, but independently run.
Euro giant.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I said pound land.
That's in the UK.
I've just been so informed by English media all my life.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I have that much.
Doc Who. Anyway.
You really got that one out well.
Anyway. Yeah, so we meet Doggo for the first time.
Yeah, is he supposed to be the wise old man of Ballytiff? Because Tiffany calls him Old Doggo. Old Doggo is asleep. Maybe she just says, "Oh, Doggo's asleep."
I think that's what she said.
I feel like, I don't know. It's up for debate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see why she would say old Doggo.
We definitely change whatever. If there is an implication that he is old, that's gone immediately.
Yeah.
This is another example of characters sleeping at work. A truly fatigued society. ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe his shop's not so popular after all because it's just sleeping. He doesn't get many customers.
Yeah, he does go out of business.
He does go out of business.
A spoiler later point.
Series, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Doggo, I was looking for some inspiration to get into Jurassic City.
Oh, Jurassic City, eh? Oh, well, that's one of the hardest cities to get to in the universe. But I might have something for you.
I present to you Dinosaur Disguise.
I have a feeling I recognize that fella from somewhere. Probably nothing. How much?
A lot. It's the most expensive thing I have. You know, these things aren't cheap.
Oh, what's worth it if I'm going to get in there?
All right. Hey.
They talk, and there's a few cuts in the conversation. One of the annoying things is there's a frame of black in between the cuts, and it's a painful reminder to me of the little editing artifacts that would be left by this
Yeah.
app that must not be named that we used.
I mean, it was good when we first discovered it,
Yeah.
but the more technical our videos got and the longer they got, the worse its limitations became. But yeah.
Nowadays we wouldn't have that problem. There's lots of editors, more very popular ones for mobile devices.
Yeah, you use an actual like proper software. I
Yeah.
use CapCut,
You use
which
this
is
crap that's being edited to use this podcast episode.
it's still fine.
I know, yeah, it's not actually, it's not crap. It's
I know.
actually a great,
I mean, it's obviously not as good as your one, but it's a lot simpler and I
Yeah,
can get things
but-
done faster. But
it's a fantastic tool nowadays for all these young video creators out there on the internet.
we're moving on. Stop.
I hear they're using the TikToks nowadays. Ooh, times are a changing.
I really want to keep going.
You can.
Okay, thank you.
Doggo sounds a bit like a mobster when you're playing him. He just says, Jurassic City, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a really helpful switch in the voice actor then, which establishes a precedent for Doggo. He is constantly switching in voices, like Bobby.
Yeah.
We'll be profiling them.
So
as they
like
go on.
you voice him sometimes, I voice him sometimes. Don't know why.
But they're the same character.
they're the same character, just different actors. Like Doctor Who. Okay.
Doggo shows off the costume, and Tiffany asks, "How much?" And there's sort of a pause, and I say, "A lot."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I feel like I was just improvising with myself
Yeah.
because I'm playing Tiffany and Doggo there, and I just don't know what to say. What is a reasonable price?
Like
this
how do you
expensive-
buy something if you don't know how much it costs? Like anyway, I have some notes. It's just down there
Okay.
if you don't mind.
I do.
What kind of stuff does this shop sell? We know it sells costumes. What else could it sell? Does it even have a theme? Maybe it's a second-hand shop or something.
Yeah.
So
Although it seems like he stocks things from the manufacturers. Like,
yeah,
these things cost a lot, you know, I paid for them. It's not like a charity shop. you
maybe
know?
it's some sort of like collector shop, like collect expensive items, maybe something like that.
Like an antiques? No,
Yeah,
not
well,
quite
to an
antiques.
extent,
Yeah.
like it can sell old stuff, but also just like general rare, expensive stuff. Maybe that's why it's famous. I don't know. We're kind of just making it up as we go along, to be honest.
Now, I wanted to ask you actually, what do you think would be a reasonable price for this costume?
Ooh, it's very like it's another one of my notes actually.
Okay.
Just my second to the last one. Why does Dog have a 1-to-1 scale costume that looks exactly like the robber from the previous series? Coincidence? Like, it's impressive that it looks exactly, even though it's the same puppet in real life, but like in the story, it's literally exactly the same as the robber. But why? Why is that? Like, there's so many dinosaurs. Why the
Why are
robber
there why are
know?
there anatomically accurate dinosaur costumes that would be
to one specific person, the robber? You know?
well, maybe it's just did dinosaurs look very similar? Was there a lot of
There's a few. There's the
like within the same species would they have looked kind of the same?
What do you mean, like?
Like if all did all the Tyrannosauruses Rexes, or maybe to use a less common
T-Rex.
example,
Oh, okay.
something like did all the pterodactyls
Pterodactyl.
did they all kind of have the same
I guess it
proportions?
depends where they live or something. Like in a hot.
But even in
area.
the same family, would they have looked very, very similar?
No, well, it's kind of like humans. Like we're kind of the same, but we all look different. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Would they have had different hair colors? Did dinosaurs have hair?
I think so. I think that's what we think nowadays. They're not like in the Jurassic movies where they're completely hairless. I think they're more hair. I don't know, giant chickens. I don't know, but I guess they would have kind of different like skin patterns and colors and stuff like that.
At 1 minute 23, you can sort of actually we didn't answer what we thought the price would be. That was the whole question.
Yeah.
Should it be like €5,000? Imagine if
How much is Tiffany like
Yeah.
that much money into her belt? Is she that desperate to get into the city?
yeah, it's
That's
a bit
weird.
strange.
You know.
I mean, I suppose it's not like it's a place she's fleeing. She's not fleeing a dangerous.
No, she just
It's a
really
war
wants to go in the
zone.
city for some reason.
Yeah.
Must be a nice city.
But imagine if there were to be like a costume of another person that's so accurate you'd be believed as that other person, how much would that cost?
That would be a lot. In real life, that would be like hundreds, if not thousands.
Yeah. If you could buy a hollow wax figure,
A hollow wax figure, a couple hundred, I'd say at
although
least.
wax figures aren't very movable,
Yeah,
so you'd just be
just like a really realistic costume. That's gonna like cut to that's at least over 100. So to stick reasonable, like
yeah.
what would Tiffany buy?
because obviously we don't know the economy in Jurassic City. It
We
could
don't
be
know how the
anything.
currency or whatever.
Yeah.
So let's just say 100, like 100, 150, something
I
like
think it
that.
should be thousands.
But I don't know if Tiffany would spend that much to get into the city reasonably.
Okay.
I don't think she's that hellbent.
We'll leave it to the audience if there is an audience that wants to answer.
If you guys want to comment, give us a review or whatever. Not
Yeah.
a review technically, but like
I think there's an answer box on Spotify. I don't know if I can.
if there is. Just what
Yeah.
do you think would that cost? It must be expensive because it's like really realistic, but then again, not too expensive. That's like in the millions, like something crazy like that Tiffany wouldn't, have to reasonably buy.
And if we get any mail, we'll definitely read it out. So moving on. On 1 minute 23, you can sort of see my fingers jutting out of Tiffany's beak because I'm also holding on to the dinosaur tail.
Yeah, so
That's-
whatever.
That's a fantastic insight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great.
I was almost going to mention at one point you could see 2 pairs of headphones on the computer monitor over there, but that's not interesting.
No. Anyway, there's a lot of shite in the background, but
Yeah.
Back home.
The back home caption barely has any time to settle before it's off again, making it look very unnatural.
yeah, the animations, like the in animation, the out animation happened really quick.
Yeah.
So you can barely read it. And again, we were new to this editing stuff. This is the first video, not the first video, but like the first of the series that we edited. So
It's like the zoom effects had to happen for a certain amount of time. Like there was no way of making them quicker.
yeah, that might have
so-
been the reason actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like now in CapCut you can just change like
Yeah.
how fast the animations happen, but maybe in this one, the not to be named app, maybe you couldn't do that. So
Make sure to put in a clip of that caption.
yeah, I will.
Maybe we should
Don't
go
worry.
outside for a second and then we can reasonably say, okay, let's go inside now. Back home. No? Is that a ridiculous
That's
idea?
ridiculous.
We're never going to go on location in this podcast.
We might for a special. You never know. But
Like
when's the next bonus episode?
After... I can't say.
Whatever.
I wonder how I'm going to fit into this. Looks way smarter than I am. Oh, jeez, this is, how do I get my head in? Right, I think I got this on now. I think I look good. Let me check a mirror. Perfect. I look as ugly as a dinosaur. Now, to get into Jurassic City.
Tiffany changes and then looks at herself in the mirror in the dinosaur costume. And what I wanted to know is, where did we get that mirror? Do you still have it?
That was used in the bathroom, my upstairs bathroom, but now we have like an actual one on the wall because that one fell off. I think
broke?
because of my cat, she like jumps out the window, is on the like windowsill, and she jumps out the window to get in and out of the house, and she knocks it over, it's smashed, and now she has bad luck.
That's
So-
what I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Okay, so we can't show it now.
Nope.
Let's have a minute's silence for that mirror.
No, it's a shit mirror. Stop having a moment of silence. No, I'm breaking the silence right now. It doesn't deserve. It's a inanimate object, if that's what you call it.
We're really glad this time. Too bad. Just to get past the train and be into Jurassic City.
In the background of another bit, there's a blanket on the ground, which is your Slytherin blanket, which is definitely still somewhere.
Whoa! It's right here.
Oh my god!
Look,
It's right
Slytherin.
there. Whoa!
Slytherin.
We're gonna put that on Instagram.
The only reason I like it is because it's very soft, but that's it.
We're also back with another sleepy employee. The guard is always asleep. Why? Why is he
Because it's
still in
funny
a
and it's
job?
comedic and it's so stereotypical.
No, it also, well, if he was awake, we wouldn't be able to
Do the thing, like, you
do
know.
the thing, progress the plot.
I wonder if he was, if he was
Awake.
awake, would he like ask for ID or like, hey, no, you know what would have happened? It would have been like, oh, you're the robber, I'm gonna arrest you. That's what would have happened, which is foreshadowing, which is what is coming up. If the guard was awake, so there you go. It's better that he was asleep.
We've got an end slate, and this is not the better next time I was talking about at the start. This is another terrible one where he snaps his hand again. Ah, he snapped the other hand.
Lol.
Lol. Play flip.
Yeah.
Oh, this. So we really have to do this all fine. So you continued in part 5 of the season finale. Has anyone got some ice, please? Oh.
There.
We're back,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, there's nothing else to come back to.
I
I
have one more note.
Oh,
one
right,
more note.
okay,
I should have said
sorry.
this when we were at the shop. I forgot about this one.
Fine.
Tiffany tells herself that she recognizes the costume from somewhere. So Tiffany must have heard or seen the robber at some point, maybe on the news or maybe in person,
Yeah,
off camera somewhere. You know.
because obviously Dave from episode 3
Yeah.
is a different person, even though he looks exactly the same.
Exactly. So, Dave. So yeah, maybe she had an encounter. You never know, or maybe it was just on the news. 'Cause clearly it's kind of famous. The robber's famous. Maybe that's why they have a costume of him. He may be like scary, so people want to dress up as him because he's famous. I don't know. Whatever. That's it. That's all my notes. That's all
Yep.
his notes. That's all I've got.
That's all the episode. There's nothing else to update you on, is there?
Nope. So thank you so much for tuning in on this episode. And tune in next time for the final episode of Tiffany's adventure. We'll figure out, does she successfully get into the city? Does she get to stay? Does she get kicked out again? What happens? Tune in. What time?
I think it's next Tuesday.
Yes, November
7th.
7th. So yeah, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Stringing It Along,
This episode's notes were written by Alex.
and it was edited by George.
If you enjoyed the show, give us a positive rating on your podcast platform of preference.
Follow or subscribe to the show as well if you feel like being notified about new episodes.
If you're craving even more String It Along, you'll find a link to all our socials in the description.
Lastly, you can contact the show with thoughts on future videos being covered at stringingitalong@gmail.com.